back to Jforrest English. I'm Jennifer and I have a question for you. Do you ever struggle to understand fast-speaking native English speakers on TV, movies, YouTube, or outside of the classroom? Well, if you do, then this is the lesson for you because you are going to practice your listening skills of fast English so you can improve and understand native speakers the first time. Let's get started. Here are your instructions for the entire lesson. I am going to say a sentence 3 times. You need to listen to that sentence and write down exactly what you hear in the comments. After, I'll explain what I said and you can learn the pronunciation changes that take place in fast English, and you can also learn the advanced expressions that I use and that native speakers commonly use. So let's get started with the first listening exercise. I'll say it 3 times. We should have had a backup plan. We should have had a backup plan. We should have had a backup plan. I said we should have had a backup plan. Let's talk about the pronunciation. Notice I said we shoulda. We shoulda had. Should have. Native speakers, we combine this to sound like shoulda. Shoulda. Notice that L is silent. Shoulda. Shoulda. We shoulda. We shoulda had, should have had, we shoulda had a backup plan. Let's take a look at the linking between back, up. This is how native speakers combine sounds, so 2 separate words will sound like one word. Back up, back up. So we take the sound from back, the last sound, and we transfer it to the next sound, up, back up. But you have to combine those sounds together so it sounds like one word. Back up, back up. Backup plan, backup plan. We should have had a backup plan. Now, what is a backup plan? A backup plan is an alternative plan that you can use if your original plan fails. Let's say you're going to present at a conference or a meeting. So you bring your computer and your presentation is on the computer. That's your original plan. That's plan A. But it's always smart to have a backup plan. This could be your backup plan. You can put your presentation on a USB, a memory stick, so if there's any issues with your computer, you have a plan B, a backup plan. And then you can say, my computer wouldn't connect to their equipment, but thankfully I had my presentation on a USB. Thankfully, I had a backup plan. Let's try this again. I'll say it 3 times. Her comment really pissed me off. Her comment really pissed me off. Her comment really pissed me off. I said, her comment really pissed me off. Let's look at the pronunciation of pissed because here this is an ED, a past simple verb, but the sound of that ED is a very soft T, pissed, pissed. Now, when we say this in a sentence and there are words that come after, you almost don't hear that T. So you can't really distinguish that it's in the past simple. It's the context of the sentence that will make it obvious that it is the past. Her comment really pissed me off. Now, what does this mean? To piss someone off, this means to make someone really angry. Now, note that this is an informal expression and it can also be considered impolite. It would be considered impolite if your name is Mark and I said, Mark, you're really pissing me off. That would be impolite. but native speakers commonly use this to complain about people. So I could be talking to my husband or my best friend and say, Mark really pissed me off today. In that context, it's not impolite, but it would be impolite to look directly at someone and say, you really piss me off. So don't do that. Now, we also use this in the structure to be pissed off. The pronunciation is the same, pissed off, to be pissed off. This is simply to be really angry. For example, I was so pissed off when I came home to a completely dirty house, even though my kids promised to clean up after the party. Do you want to do another listening exercise? I'll say it 3 times. Take what she says with a grain of salt. Take what she says with a grain of salt. Take what she says with a grain of salt. I said, take what she says with a grain of salt. Here, the pronunciation is clear, but if you don't know what this idiom means, then you won't understand it. So the idiom is to take something with a grain of salt. We use this to say that you shouldn't believe everything someone tells you because it might not be true. So let's say your friend tells you that, oh, Gina says she'll help me move this weekend. But from your experience, Gina likes to make a lot of promises, but she doesn't always follow up with those promises. She doesn't always fulfill those promises. Then you might say, take what she says with a grain of salt. You're letting your friend know that Gina might not actually do what she says. And let's focus on the grammar here. What do you notice about this sentence? Take what she says with a grain of salt. What verb tense is this in? We're using the imperative. Take is in the imperative because the sentence begins with a base verb. There's no subject here. That's how you can identify the imperative. And the imperative is used to give instructions, orders, or suggestions. So I'm suggesting that my friend take what she says with a grain of salt. Your next listening exercise, I'll say it 3 times. It's high time we let her go. It's high time we let her go. It's high time we let her go. I said it's high time we let her go. For pronunciation, let's talk about let her go. Let her go. Here, notice how her sounds like You don't hear the H, but I also attach it to the word before. So I link those sounds together. Let her, let her, let her, let her go, let her go. It's high time we let her go. Let's look at the expression, it's high time. When you say it's high time that something should happen, you're saying that something should happen now and not later. And when you use this expression, you also suggest that it should have already happened. So we shoulda already let her go. But we didn't, so we should do it now because it's high time we let her go. And in my opinion, it's high time that you enrolled in the Finally Fluent Academy. It's high time. You should have already done this. You should have already done this, but maybe you haven't, so you should do it now and not later. What's the Finally Fluent Academy? Well, this is my premium training program where we study native English speakers on TV, movies, YouTube, and the news so you can improve your listening skills of fast English and add the most common expressions to your speech. So we do exactly what you're doing now, but you use native speakers from TV, movies, YouTube, so you get a variety of different accents and styles of speech. Plus, you'll have me as your teacher, and I'll be there to coach you every step of the way. So it's high time you join the Finally Fluent Academy, and you can look for the link in the description to learn more. Coming back to our example, it's high time you let her go. Now, to let someone go, this is an alternative way of saying to fire someone. When you fire someone, they permanently stop working for the company. So when you let someone go, they permanently stop working for the company. It's high time we let her go. Remember, you're suggesting you should have let her go a while ago. So now you better do it. Let's do one last listening exercise. I'll say it 3 times. He looked a little frazzled. He looked a little frazzled. He looked a little frazzled. I said he looked a little frazzled. Let's talk about pronunciation. A little. Native speakers, we don't pronounce T's between 2 vowels. It will be either a very soft D, little, little, dull, or you just won't hear it, lil, a little, a little. And notice the is connected to it, a little, a little. He looked a little frazzled. Frazzled, here it's a past simple ed verb, but the pronunciation is a very soft D, and you almost don't hear it. Frazzled, very soft, frazzled. To be frazzled or to look frazzled, this is when you are or look very tired, but you also look very worried or anxious. So I might look frazzled if you see me, and normally my hair is nice and in a nice position, but you see me and my hair is crazy. I have makeup a little bit under my eyes. Maybe my shirt is a little messy as well, and visibly you can see that I might look frazzled. And then obviously I'll look very tired and maybe like very worried and anxious. So you might see it visibly in my appearance, and you can see it on my facial expression as well. So if you see a coworker that looks frazzled, you might say, "Are you okay? You look a little frazzled." Amazing job improving your listening skills of fast English. Now let's improve your pronunciation. Let's do an imitation exercise. I'm going to say each sentence again, but I'm going to pause, and then I want you to repeat the sentence out loud and try to follow my pronunciation exactly. So try to imitate my pronunciation. And I'll say each sentence 3 times. So I want you to repeat it out loud 3 times. We should have had a backup plan. We should have had a backup plan. We should have had a backup plan. Her comment really pissed me off. Her comment really pissed me off. Her comment really pissed me off. Take what she says with a grain of salt. Take what she says with a grain of salt. Take what she says with a grain of salt. It's high time we let her go. It's high time we let her go. It's high time we let her go. He looked a little frazzled. He looked a little frazzled. He looked a little frazzled. So, did you enjoy this listening exercise? Did you enjoy testing your listening skills? If so, put yes, yes, yes in the comments so I know you want me to keep making videos just like this. And you can get this free speaking guide where I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. You can click here to download it or look for the link in the description. And why don't you get started with your next lesson right now?